Are you looking for the best fertilizer spreaders? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best fertilizer spreaders on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Best Scott's Elite Spreader. Thanks to the soft plastic wheels, filled with foam, it rolls smoothly on most terrain, handling several bumps in the yard without issue. While plastic wheels aren't the best, they're an improvement over models with solid wheels like our best for small yards pick. Rotary spreaders can cause stripes, but I've found the main reason I prefer the Scott's Elite Spreader is its dual rotor technology, which allows it to distribute products twice as fast as similar single rotor spreaders. During testing, we noticed that the dual rotor design also allows it to provide better coverage than single rotor spreaders. It doesn't distribute the last bit of fertilizer from the spreader, but that was only a small amount. This spreader arrives pre-assembled and calibrated, so you only need to snap on the wheels, unfold the handle, and add seed or fertilizer. We had trouble with the flow lock switch, it didn't seem to work, but the spreader worked fine without it. Since fertilizer spreaders spend so much time stored away, awaiting the next growing season, we love that this spreader's handle folds down for easy storage in an outdoor shed or garage. However, this is an all-season tool that can also disperse ice melt. Dimensions: 20.07 x 23.63 x 23.31 inches. Coverage area: 20,000 square feet. Weight: 19.75 pounds. Number 2. Best Budget. This is a hand-powered spreader. The faster you crank it, the wider the spread, from 2 to 8 feet, depending on the material. That's why it isn't a great pick for fertilizing a large yard. We used it for spot application of weed and feed around a 10,000 square foot lawn and found that it was comfortable to hold and crank, for right-handed users, but our wrist quickly grew tired. Since the crank is fixed, left-handed users, and anyone with mobility issues in their right wrist, will find this spreader difficult to use. If you think that will be an issue, or you just prefer not to crank a spreader manually, our best handheld pick costs about $100 more, but holds enough product to cover 5,000 square feet and has a battery that runs for up to 4 hours. After 6 months of use, the one nice thing about this spreader is that it's also great for dispensing ice melt. The Scott's Whirl spread it much more evenly than spreading it by hand, so this really is a tool you can use throughout the year, like our best all-season pick. Dimensions: 13.1 x 8.7 x 8.5 inches. Coverage area: 1,500 square feet. Weight: 1.5 pounds. Number 3. Best for large yards. This spreader has a slightly higher cover area than our overall best recommendation, with pneumatic tires that make it easy to push, which is why I like it for larger yards. It even moves smoothly over tough terrain. We tested it in a large yard with plenty of slopes and uneven areas and found it much easier to use than other push spreaders. I also like the flow control with an adjustable stop, which lets you apply a precise amount of product to your lawn. During testing, we found the controls to be simple yet responsive. The one big issue we ran into when testing this spreader is that it requires assembly and calibration, which makes it more difficult to use than most of our recommendations. There are a lot of parts to put together, but the benefit is that it feels extremely solid and durable, so we expect it to last a long time. When our tester first used this spreader, he saw streaky results due to improper calibration. It took some work to calibrate it correctly, but once he nailed it, he was pleased that it spread the fertilizer evenly. Dimensions: 33.62 x 27.12 x 48 inches. Coverage area: 21,780 square feet, 0.5 acres. Weight: 35 pounds. Number 4. Best for small yards. This spreader includes many of the features found in the larger and more expensive Scott's Elite Broadcast spreader, our overall best recommendation, but it's smaller, easier to handle, and a bit easier to store. I love that this mini spreader includes Scott's EdgeGuard technology, which I use to keep lawn products off my driveway and out of the planter beds that line one side of my front yard. If your small yard has a lot of landscaping and other areas that don't need seed or fertilizer, you'll appreciate how EdgeGuard helps cut down on waste and mess. At just 10 pounds, this spreader is just as easy to store as it is to maneuver around your yard. It comes pre-calibrated and fully assembled. This spreader is a champ at evenly applying a variety of substances to your lawn, including ice melt in the winter. The only thing I don't like about this spreader is that the wheels are hard plastic. They don't perform as well as I'd like on the varying terrain of my backyard, but I've never had any issues on my flat front lawn. Dimensions: 45.25 x 20 x 16 inches coverage area, 5,000 square feet weight, 10.67 pounds. Number 5. Best Handheld. The Ryobi Salt Spreader is our recommendation for smaller yards and spot treatments around gardens, fences, the side of your house, and other areas where fertilizer and seed don't belong, or would be wasted. It holds enough material for 5,000 square feet of coverage, so it's a smaller, easier to store alternative if your yard is on the smaller side. This model is also equipped with side guards to avoid overspraying into the areas you want to protect. When treating his half-acre yard, he found that fertilizing an area larger than 5,000 square feet caused arm fatigue. If you want to avoid fatigue, our best for small yards is still relatively compact for storage, and the wheels take the strain away. Our biggest caution with this spreader is that the manual is useless. Thanks to YouTube, our tester found out that you need to pull the trigger to start the dispenser and then compress the trigger even further to open the gate and start dispensing. Dimensions: 12.01 x 7.28 x 10.24 inches coverage area, 5,000 square feet weight, 3.22 pounds.